What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12, Episode 9. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. And so we start this off with Jan being eliminated, the widow Von Du being saved for another week, and we spend the next 5 minutes talking about how wonderful Jan is, how great Jan was, how, if, a cheerleader crossed with this and crossed with that. So I guess Jan is the vote for Miss Congeniality. I think it's going to come down to Jan and Heidi. It's going to be one of the two. Although Heidi's had a couple of moments. I don't know. But I think those are going to come down to those two people for Miss Congeniality. Now, RuPaul is a product placing, product pushing pimp. The mini challenge was about getting into your best kitty quick drag, and it was sponsored by kitty litter that tracks your cat's health. Other than having a song called Kitty Girl, what in RuPaul's Drag Race? There's no pussy in RuPaul's Drag Race, okay? But it was cute. It was funny. Everybody did their best, cat impersonation and some kitty litter. But the winner was Jackie Cox. Now, I personally liked whoever that first person was that went. I think it was Crystal Meth that went first. But Jackie Cox did this whole Eartha Kitt. Like, everything Jackie Cox does is connected to the 60s child, I swear. But it works for her. It's her brand. It gets on my nerves a little bit, but it works for her. But it was this whole Eartha Kitt. She had the tongue roll and everything, honey. She was giving us Eartha Kitt. It was cute. So the Maxi Challenge is, of course, this is an election year. It's very important. So they're going to make fun a little bit of the whole political game while educating at the same time. And so you're going to have your first drag president. So the idea is to create a platform and all of that good stuff, and you're going to have a debate. And it's funny because I have done this exact same thing in my classroom as a lesson plan for my students when we were learning about political parties and understanding. Interesting. So, of course, Ru comes through the workroom. I was going to say the drag room. Ru comes through the work. Excuse me, y'all. Ru comes through the workroom with none other Miss Raven, honey. Yes, I did. I was going to tell a lie. Say I didn't remember how much of a statuesque glamazon Raven was, but I do. I remember. But honey, Raven is just giving us the best that she got, okay? And so they were going from person to person, and once again we get to Heidi first, and immediately Ru is giving Heidi everything. I was waiting for the girls to start hating because they kept panning over to the girls and they were kind of looking, but Heidi had the whole Gap thing, and they were, like I said, the GOP, GAP, Heidi, it was something else. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm not even sleepy. It was something else that Heidi, and as soon as Ru said it, Heidi would go write it down, and she was like, "Oh, wait a minute, is that one free? Can I have that one?" And Ru was like, "I don't get it. Like, the jokes write themselves. Like, I don't know why you don't even see it." But so she was, Heidi was ready to go. Jackie Cox, her political story obviously is very much connected to what's going on currently with the travel ban and people from Middle Eastern countries. And so she brought that up, but she was like, "I'm not even registered to vote." And Ru was like, "Say what?" But come to find out, she's Canadian, and I found that to be very interesting. I don't want to get too political in my review, but I found out to be very interesting that I just found it interesting that she's from Canada. I'm just going to keep the rest of that to myself. So, but of course, we'll see what she ended up doing as her little shtick. Jada Essence Hall, she said, "Listen, I am a pageant queen, and everybody thinks that because I'm a pageant queen that I don't know how to fight. And I don't know how to, she said, but people don't understand that in a pageant you got to be ready for anything, and you got to be ready for, you know, you never know what's going to happen. You got to be ready for it. And so, you know, Rue was like, yeah, that's true. You know, pageant queens do know how to fight, honey. Miss Gigi Good. Now, Gigi Good, that's the other thing. The only other thing that was interesting, let me go back a little bit to the beginning. She said something about how she had gotten a little cocky. And of course, everybody was looking at her like, oh, really? Do tell. But she's sort of struggling a little bit because she's not very political. And Ruth said, look, lean into what you know. Lean into what you know. You know fashion. Make everything about fashion. Bring all your jokes back around to having a fashion sense. I don't remember them talking to Sherry Pie. Y'all know how they like to edit Sherry out, honey, when they can. So I don't remember the one-on-one with Sherry Pie. She might have had one, but I don't remember it, child. Crystal, again, was struggling. Crystal was struggling. She said she's from a very conservative place, a very conservative town. And she was just struggling with trying to figure out who she was and how she was going to convey that to other people, you know. Last but not least, I think Widow's the only person I haven't spoken about. Of course, Widow, once again, Widow is in her head. Widow she can't figure out how to make this funny. And here's what pisses me off, you guys. And Raven said it a couple of times. And it's funny because I feel like Raven is watching what's going on. And so she said everything to the girls that she's been wanting to say to them, like watching the show from behind the scenes. And she said, when Rue, it gives you a direction, take it. When she's telling you what to do, take it and run with it. And remember, with the Snatch Game, I feel like a lot of the girls missed the opportunity because they did not take advantage of what was told to them or given to them as something that they should do or move towards. I just feel like they missed an opportunity. And so Widow was trying to, you know, she said, what is your platform? And Widow was talking about big girls having love too, honey. And Rue was like, okay, that's great, but that's not really funny, is it? She was like, but there's a way to make it funny. Widow, that was it. Take the big girl mantra and make it funny. And you can make it funny without turning it into a caricature. You can make it funny without making fun of. And I don't know why you couldn't do that. And what was interesting was Sherry Pie did it. And I kind of wish we had seen Sherry Pie's one-on-one because I would have wanted to know, is that what Sherry Pie talked about? Because Sherry Pie did that. She made fat jokes. She made fat jokes. And it wasn't in a disrespectful way, but she played it into her whole Sherry Pie name. But the minute the first joke that she landed in the debate was a fat joke. And I remember thinking, now, did you just take Widow's zhuzh? Because that would have really pissed me off if Widow had made her platform about, you know, 2 tons of fun type stuff. And I'd have been like, okay, so Sherry Pie, you done stole her idea. But she didn't, so it wasn't, you know, I can save my outrage. I can put it back in my pocket and save it for something else. So the judges for the debate are Jeff Goldblum, the actor Jeff Goldblum, and Rachel Bloom, I believe. Make sure. Now y'all correct me. Y'all super fans, Rachel Bloom. Y'all super fans in the chat. I mean, y'all let me know. Is that the person that had replaced Michelle Visage when Michelle wasn't on that season or those 2 seasons when her and Rue had kind of fallen out? Is that her? Because I feel like they made a joke about it towards the end of the episode. Or was it just about her being another brunette sitting in Michelle Visage's seat? Because Michelle Visage was sort of on, she wasn't on this episode other than like in this remote thing. And I'm wondering if they said she was on travel and she was doing something else. But then they had her kind of being like the remote correspondent for the debate kind of thing. But anyway, y'all let me know in the chat because I don't remember. And, you know, yeah. So, but anyway, that's who it was. And so we get to the debate. And it was, first of all, I want to say this. The girls looked, let me tell you who looked gorgeous. That damn Jada Essence Hall. Bitch. You just don't get it wrong. You just don't get it wrong. Jada, she looked good. Heidi looked good. Jackie Cox gave us the whole like stuffed politician. I thought Widow looked pretty good. Let me go back. I think everybody did a good job with their character, with their whole character shtick. Um, Hold on, let me rewind before I get to that, because the mirror moment this week was pretty good, because the mirror moment this week they did get into politics, and I want to commend Crystal Method. And the reason why I want to commend Crystal Method is because Crystal Method shared with us that both of her parents voted for Trump, and that they are still very much Trump supporters. And Jackie Cox kind of gave her the, well, do they stand by that? And Crystal was like, yeah, they do. And she said it's actually very hard, because as much as I love my parents, and as much as I feel like I have picked up a lot of my my values from my parents, we just couldn't be further from, but they're still my parents. Like, I totally don't support Trump and anything he stands for, but they're still my parents. And she said, and I struggle with walking that line. And let me tell you why I say I commend her, because in this climate, it is so hard to say, yes, my parents voted for Trump, because you know what you're going to get. In certain rooms, you know what you're going to get. And in that room, you knew you were going to get stares. You knew you were going to get a little bit of judgment. And you knew you were going to get people maybe even starting to look at you a little bit like, well, do you support him too? How could you grow up in a family that supports Trump and you don't feel that way? Like, at least in my mind, you're going to get some of that. And so I respect that, and I commend her for standing in it and saying, listen, they're still my parents and I love them. I have a family member who voted for Trump, and when I tell you, we have gotten into some knockdown, drag out fights about the fact that person voted for Trump and how they felt about Trump. And let's be clear, it's obvious what I am. And so are they. So you can understand that that's a whole nother conversation. So I just commend her for that. I feel like that was a moment, and I appreciate her honesty in that moment. And then Jackie Cox went on to talk about how the travel ban really affected her family, because her mom is ill and they wanted the aunt who still lives in Iran to come over, and because of Trump's travel ban, they haven't been able to make it happen for her, and just how unfair it is. Widow talked about being a black man driving in her car in Kansas City, Missouri. She said there are places that she doesn't even go in her own town because she knows the climate and she knows what she'll be walking into. So Jackie sort of rubbed me the wrong way in this episode, y'all, and I'm really trying to not get political and go too far left with it. But anyway, so that's just what it is. It is what it is. That's what it was. So, so anyway, back to the debate. So with the debate, from the gate, like I said, I thought everybody looked nice. I thought everybody, for what they were trying to do, for the shtick, for what they were trying to get, I thought everybody did well. I definitely would have to say that the person that I think bought it the best was Jada Essence Hall. I mean, she was hilarious. She was able to pick up on jokes. She was able to input her own little shtick. She was very good with the off the cuff, it seemed like. And when, she started doing this thing where when she didn't know an answer, she was like, look over there. And it was like, because her whole platform was about confusion and being confused. And so I thought it was hilarious, because it was clear that she didn't know what the hell she was clear that she was just like, but at the same time, she was able to make it part of her joke. Sherry Pie, like I said, she started making these jokes in the beginning about like big women and being heavy and stuff like that. And I was kind of giving her the side eye. But then she went into this old woman thing, and she went right back to Katharine Hepburn and right back to the Grey's Anatomy character. And she was playing that same damn character again. And the judges noticed when they got to the main stage, they were like, okay, well. And Rue even said she's kind of getting sick of seeing the same thing over and over again. I was like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. Gigi Good was like a deer in headlights, honey. Gigi Good was a deer in headlights. Okay? She was so lost. She had nothing. And even with the whole fashion thing, like, I don't understand why you could not throw some fashion icons out there and some jokes about different things. Like, do you not know, like, some catchphrases of, I mean, you could have thrown, like, nobody comes between me and my Calvins. Like, you could have thrown some jokes out there in any way, shape, or form. I don't know, child. Jackie did this whole thing on being Canadian. She did this whole shtick on being Canadian. And again, the the judges were trying to tell her, like, a couple of times the judges said, okay, no more Canada jokes. Okay, can you answer this question without saying anything about Canada? And she just kept doing it. And it, like, in the beginning, I couldn't tell if she was doing it on purpose or she just kept forgetting. Like when she said that she would remix the national anthem, have Deborah Cox do it, and when she started singing, at first she started singing "Oh Canada" and then went to "Oh Say Can You See," and I'm wondering if that was on purpose or if she really truly forgot what the national anthem was. Like, I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. So she anyway, so the judges, they got sick of it really quickly, and so did I. Heidi was funny, but Heidi was funny because Heidi was commentating. Heidi was commentating and being an instigator and kind of throwing stuff out there. Like, she was funny from that point of view, right? And she kept, clutching her pearls and making the oh my, like she was funny with the ad libs like that. Widow did exactly what Raven told her not to do. She took it seriously. Because Raven even said, you're not running for president for real. Like, you're not really running for president. Like, I'm going to need you to bring it down. Stop being so intense. Have fun with it. And Widow turned into this angry politician character. And it was like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What is wrong with you? Like, I was like, Widow, what are you doing? Child. So anyway, there was nothing funny about Widow's character at all. I think that's everybody. Did I talk about everybody? I feel like I'm missing somebody, but we're down the numbers. Oh, Crystal did okay. I wasn't blown away by Crystal, but I didn't hate it either. You know what I mean? Crystal was okay. So the theme was Stars and Stripes. First to hit the runway, we had Miss Crystal Method. Crystal Method had like a overdressed auntie going to the 4th of July cookout outfit on. It was a lot of red, white, and blue stuff thrown together. It was a very mishmash, but it was supposed to be, it was like that whole, it was okay. It was cute. Didn't blow me away, but I understood where she was going with it. I got her shtick. Heidi gave us 1950s pinup girl, honey, with the red wig, with the big bang in the front, and she had the little pinup outfit. It was so cute, red, white, and blue. It was really, really cute. Heidi's makeup looked nice. She did really good, really, really good on the main stage. Widow Von Du gave us Angela Davis, afro, Black Panther, dark makeup, black lip. Her dress was black and white with stars on it, and it was stripes. Because again, the challenge, the main stage was stars and stripes, not red, white, and blue. She was the only person that did not have on red, white, and blue. So that made her stand out, and you saw what she was doing with it. It was great. Sherry Pie had like a whole rocker thing going with the rocker wig, and yeah. Jackie was beautiful. Jackie Cox looked beautiful. She had on a red, I forgot the actual name for it, but like a traditional Iranian woman garb, and it was red with silver stripes, and then she had on a blue hijab with 50 silver stars on it. It was beautiful, and it definitely made a statement. I kind of felt Jeff Goldblum a little bit, because he sort of questioned mixing that with the whole idea of drag because of the whole anti-LGBTQIA aspect of the religion. But I believe her answer was accurate and perfect. But I'll be honest with you, it was sort of an awkward question that Jeff Goldblum asked, but I kind of understood his question because I was kind of thinking the same thing myself to a certain extent. Yeah. Gigi, she did a whole Yankee Doodle Dandy thing, looking like something straight out of the Revolutionary War. And it was funny because Rachel she kind of slick shaded her a little bit, because she was like, "Oh, look at you." Something about, are you a Minuteman, or are you what did she say? Oh shit. Basically, she was basically saying, were you on the side of the British, or were you on this side? Because, anyway, I'm not gonna give you a history lesson. I'm just leave it at that, because I don't want to get too deep with it. Okay, but it was cute. Jada Essence Hall, bitch. You just never get it wrong. She had on this red, white, and blue jumpsuit with the stars coming off the shoulder pads. She was doing like this whole red, white, and blue superhero thing. Bitch, you never get it wrong. I mean, you always look stunning. Always look stunning. Anyway, so we get to the critiques, and the critiques were pretty much what I already gave you guys. The judges, they're sort of over Sherry Pie with that same character. They're loving Crystal Method. They think she's finally finding her confidence and finding her place. They loved Jada's performance. They loved Heidi's performance. Gigi, they said the same thing. She sort of got lost in the headlights. They weren't really feeling Jackie's Canadian thing, and they were not feeling Widow. Widow, you screwed yourself. Because when the criticism came around, instead of taking it, you had to talk back. And Widow is at that point in the competition where we've seen, if you've been watching the show, you know this point where the queens get so deep into their own head that it's almost like, I can't. You've reached the end of your road, because she's so deep in, and Ru even told her. Ru said, just stop, because you're digging yourself into a hole right now. Just stop. Just shut up. That's what she wanted to say. She didn't tell her shut up, but she told her. She said, just stop. And she just kept going and kept going. She said, well, I stayed up till 4:30 in the morning, and I guess that was just for nothing. See, that's the kind of shit that people don't appreciate, Widow. You're not the only one that stayed up all night. You're not the only one that was nervous. And you're not the only one that flopped. You're not. You should have just took the criticism, because they loved her runway. They were eating her runway up. And y'all know, like I know, that the runway will save somebody. A runway will save a bad performance if they really like you. If they really like you. But let me say this, and I didn't say this at the beginning because I really didn't want to put a spoiler alert out there for anybody. But let me say this, RuPaul's Drag Race, y'all pissing me off with the way y'all doing this, because this is the second week in a row that Gigi Good ass should have been in the bottom. Now she was in the bottom, but she should have been lip syncing for her life. Last week, Jan should not have been lip syncing last week. It should have been Gigi Good, and her ass should have went home, because Widow would have sent her ass home. This week it was Widow, and it was Jackie Cox. And I don't think Gigi Good did better than Jackie Cox, nor do I think Gigi Good's runway was better than Jackie Cox's runway. So if it came down to the two of them and they were neck and neck, then basically your reason for choosing Jackie Cox over Gigi Good is that you wasn't ready for Gigi Good to go home yet, and you wasn't sure who was going to win in that lip sync. And that's what I say. That's how I feel about it, because that's the second week in a row that Gigi Good's ass should have been in the damn bottom. Because there was nothing inspiring about her runway look. I mean, yeah, it was cute, it was tailored, it was nice. But okay, the theme was stars and stripes. Your ass dressed up like you was out of the Revolutionary War. What's so fucking original about that? I mean, there's nothing special about that. You look like you could have been marching, and you don't even know what side you was on. Because for real, your outfit really looked like you was a British soldier and not a... See, y'all was about to make me do that again. Y'all was about to try to make me go there again. You was trying to make me go left when I wanted to go right. So, RuPaul, y'all playing. Y'all giving Gigi Good the edit. We see what y'all want. We see what y'all are doing. Because that is 2 weeks in a row that her ass should have been in the bottom. Anyway, the song was Fireworks by Katy Perry. And honestly, Widow, you did a good lip sync, but I did enjoy Jackie's lip sync better than your lip sync. I was waiting for you to give me something. I was waiting for you to kick a leg up. See, now's the time for you to do a death drop, bitch. Now is the time for you to roll around on the ground, because you know you was in the bottom last week. And you know how that is about 2 weeks in a row in the bottom. You got to be doing backflips off the chandeliers, honey. And now is the time for you to do all that crazy shit, Widow. Now is the time for you to pull all that shit out your arsenal. You did a decent lip sync, but I really do think Jackie did a better job, and I really did enjoy Jackie's more than I enjoyed yours. I love you, Widow. I'm sorry to see you go, but you got in your own head. You became your own worst enemy, because Rue told you what to do, and you did the exact opposite. Raven told you what to do. You did the exact opposite. I don't know what you wanted. I don't know what else you wanted from people. Moving on. That was that. There was no Untucked this week because they're starting the celebrity drag race, so there was no Untucked. And that's it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.